Let's go do it for white, so we're going to move on to blue. Okay, so I don't think I'll be able to talk about blue without talking about the Jace. So I think the Jace is pretty good. So, you know, for 3, you get a 3 loyalty Planeswalker, get the new legend rule. You've probably seen that. But basically, Planeswalkers are legendary now, so you could have this and, oh, I don't know, Unraveler Secrets out at the same time. You're not in Standard, because this is rotating, RIP, Unraveler, but yeah, so I think this is going to be, because of its +1, and the fact that it makes that 2/2 fly. Oh, no, it doesn't fly. Yeah, never mind, it doesn't fly. I thought it did for some reason. But the fact that it makes a dude, this is Jace, and the fact that you want creatures with the +1, I think it's going to be a lot better suited for tempo-y, aggro-y things. Like, I think this could see a home in, like, any kind of pirate deck that pops up. Or just anything more. Maybe I don't think Merfolk quite got there with for standard anyway. With the spoilers, but maybe next set. But I think if you're some kind of aggressive tempo-y kind of thing with blue in it, you're gonna like Jace quite a bit. I think Jace is cool anyway. 7 mana, draw 7. Okay, so search for Azcanta. I like this thing quite a bit. So this is another. I'm gonna have to talk about everything in this cycle. So for 1 blue, you get this legendary enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, you look at the top card, and you can either put it in your grave. Yes, you may put it in your graveyard, and then if you have 7 or more cards, you flip it. So then the flip side makes blue, and you can pay 2 and a blue to basically impulse. You know, look at the top 4, you get 1, and you put the rest at the bottom. So free impulsing seems pretty cool. You know that they make all of the flip sides of lands pretty powerful. But yeah, no, this one's great. So where I think this is gonna find a home is definitely gonna be control decks. Specifically, I said the maybe it's not removal, but the blue-white approach deck is looking for more, I guess, cheaper cards. You could say. I think the deck's gonna look different after rotation, but I think it's definitely gonna like this card. You know, it digs you deeper to your approaches, and then whenever you're trying to get to your approach, you don't have to use a card. You have a land that can help you get there. So I think this card's very good. Control deck's gonna like it quite a bit. Maybe even some combo decks pop up. I'm not seeing any combos, but then again, I'm terrible at evaluating cards. So, how many blue cards do we have here? All right, let's just look at that. So, Siren Storm Tamer. So we have blue for a 1/1 that flies. You can pay blue. You can sacrifice it, and you counter target spell ability that targets your creature control. Also, it's a pirate. That's pretty cool. Pirates are cool. They're gonna be relevant creature type, I think. So you could basically save another creature or not die to a burn spell for a blue, and it also flies. Great package. I don't think there's a ton to say there. It's just nice little Judge's Familiar Curse Catcher-esque kind of cheap disruptive creature with a relevant creature type. So I think this card's very good. I like it quite a bit. Coppola, I think while that's a good card, there's not a whole lot to say there. It's probably gonna go a Modern Merfolk. If their standard Merfolk pops up, sure, but other than that, so Dreamcaller Siren. So, like this quite a bit. So for, it says 5 right there, it's actually 4. So for 2 blue, you get a 3/3 with a 3/3 Flash and Flying. Remember how I said Flash is good? Well, it is. It can only block creatures with Flying. That's the downside to this thing. But whenever it enters, if you control another pirate, and it is a pirate, by the way, you can tap 2 non-land permanents. So basically, this is kind of what makes some people like I think it was Paula Vider tweeted recently. This thing makes pirates a lot kind of like fairies. So that's pretty cool. You have again another kind of cheap. Get out of here. You have a cheap. Well, is 4 mana cheap? I guess it depends on context. You have a reasonably costed disruptive creature that has a relevant creature type. It's much like the other one. I think it's going to see play, tapping in any kind of pirate deck. I'm thinking there's going to be a pirate deck. I don't know. I haven't seen much about it. But being disruptive, having flash, being evasive, this card's a good time. I like it quite a bit. So we have that thing. I am less sure if this card's going to be good, but I still like it just quite a bit just because I think the design's cool. So for 2 mana, you get a 2/1. It's a pirate, again, relevant creature type. Basically, you pay 3 to make it unblockable, and whenever it deals damage, you get to loot. So again, I think this will be a shoe-in for any kind of pirate deck that pops up. Maybe. I don't know. See, again, it's evasive. It gets you some, I guess you could say, looting's card advantage, even though it's not really, I don't know. It's seeing more cards. I think loots are good. But yeah, no, just I'm a little unsure about it. Being an X1 makes it kind of but being able to make it unblockable, just that's a nice little mana sink, and I think it has potential. I like this thing quite a bit. I I think I've ended every card I've talked about with that. What else I want to talk about here? So Charter Course is pretty cool. So at sorcery speed for 1 and a blue, you get to draw 2 cards, and then you discard unless you attack with the creature's turn. So much like the Jace, this is gonna be better in a more aggressive kind of thing. But the other application for this that may or may not be overlooked at this point is for a God Pharaoh's Gift deck. So maybe you don't necessarily, maybe you have an attack, you do have creatures in the deck, but you in that deck, you want to discard some bigger things so you can get back with your God Pharaoh's Gift, or maybe you want to get your numbers up for the Gate to the Afterlife. So I like Charter Course quite a bit. It makes you not have to go into another color for Catharic Reunion like a lot of decks in Standard are doing right now. So yeah, and I could even maybe see this in Modern. Maybe I'm not sure about Modern, but Charter Course, I think that card's quite good. I had to stop myself from saying I like it quite a bit. Oh, I went all the way back to white. Oh no. Okay, so we talked about that. Feral Wind's reprint's kind of cool, but more pirate support. So basically, it's a better mana leak if you control pirate. Other than that, it's 3 mana for a counter unless they pay 4. It's just a scaled up mana leak. That's not the worst, But yeah, again, something that will be really, really good if a pirate tempo-y kind of thing pops up. Because again, this is just a better mana leak if you have a pirate. It pairs well with the unblockable one and a few other ones we're looking at. But yeah, big fan of this card. Good counterspell. I like counterspells quite a bit. What else do we want to talk about? Not many comments like what's okay. Opt. So this is a reprint. I can't say I've exactly played with this card before, and at first I was like, psh, scry 1, draw a card, whatever. But then I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, this will probably be good for control decks. Like finding like a specific answer to something for only 1 mana, especially if you have like a lot more untapped lands, is gonna be a good time. And I was thinking about it, then again, with Serum Vision, the scry 2 is a big deal. That's a big part of the reason why this is a good card. But think about it, for instant speed. It's 1 less scry than Serum Vision, so this is like probably one of the closer things we're gonna get in standard to Serum Vision. It's nowhere near as good, I don't think, as Serum Visions, but yeah. For Modern, not so sure about it, because again we have Serum Visions, but considering we don't have Ponder or Preordain, I could maybe see this going in like a Storm deck in Modern. Instant speed is nothing to laugh at, so Opt's a good time. I don't know. I may have to talk to one of my local Storm experts about this card going in there, but yeah, you never know. Spell Pierce reprint. I think everyone knows Spell Pierce, especially if you've played Modern. But yeah, I could see just pretty much this being like a Dispel replacement, even though it's nowhere near as good. More tempo-y kind of decks like the Pirate deck potentially you could have this. And I could, again, it's not terrible for control either. So Spell Pierce is a good reprint. All right, let's move on to black.